Hi everyone, I'm Diana Georger, a Women Against Gun Violence board member and the mom of 2 teenage sons. I've always done my best to keep them safe. Helmets, knee pads, elbow pads, driving lessons, yikes, and always asking if there was a gun where they played. And now that they're older, if there's a gun where they hang out. I'm not relying on strong federal legislation to help control the epidemic of gun violence in our country. Although strong federal oversight would be a very good thing. Instead, I've taken life-saving action into my own hands, and I'm going to teach you how to do that too. Today, I'm going to share how you can have a comfortable conversation with your children, family, friends, and neighbors about guns, gun safety, and ultimately saving lives. Every year, hundreds of American children gain access to firearms and unintentionally shoot themselves or someone else. How and where do they get a gun? Research shows that over 4.5 million American children live in homes with unlocked or unsupervised guns, and every single day, these guns cause unintentional injury or kill 8 children and teens in a day. That's every single day. Locking up firearms can help prevent these unintentional shootings. When we think about gun deaths in the United States, mass shootings and murders may come to mind first. But guns are also a leading method of suicide, especially and tragically among young people. In 2017, almost 45% of teen suicides involved a firearm. Recently, a detailed study linked higher suicide rates among teens with higher levels of household gun ownership. A team of public health researchers at Boston University found that for each 10% increase in household gun ownership in a U.S. state, the teen suicide rate increased by more than 25%. Locking up firearms can help prevent teen suicides. Over 75% of school shootings start with kids having access to unsecured or unsupervised guns at home. Locking up firearms can help prevent school shootings. It's simple. Safe gun storage saves lives. Lock up your guns if you have them, and make sure your friends, family, and neighbors lock up their guns too. Let me introduce you to our TALK project. The TALK project is about parental responsibility. As parents and caregivers, we alone are responsible for ensuring the safety of our children and the children in our care. The National Rifle Association has a program called Eddie Eagle. It teaches gun safety to children and teens. While some may believe that this program keeps kids safe, our TALK project is about parental responsibility to keep our children safe. Science shows that a young child doesn't have the ability to understand real consequences, and that a teen's ability to control impulses, it's not fully developed. Teenagers act first and feel second and think last. That can be a deadly cycle when unsecured and loaded guns are available. We can't rely on children and teens to protect themselves from guns in their home. That's our job. Let's talk about the T in TALK. Talk with your kids about guns. It's really important that you talk with your children about guns, no matter where you live, the schools your children attend, or who their friends are. Gun violence impacts every community in America. Kids see the power that comes from shooting guns in movies, on television, and in video games. But what these programs do not show are the real consequences of using a gun, the injuries and the deaths, and the sadness of losing someone you love. It's important to explain to your children the difference between guns in the media and the way guns impact real people in real life. Talking about guns is not just a one-time conversation. As children mature, their opinions about guns may change, so be sure to talk with them regularly about the dangers of guns. You can even talk with them about recent news stories, age appropriate, and where gun violence has been involved if you think they're old enough. And teach your children what to do if they see a gun or anything that looks like a gun, because some guns look like toys and some toy guns look very real. Do you think your children can tell the difference? Because research shows that before the age of 8, very few children can. Here's what you should and can teach them. Get away from the gun. Don't touch it. Tell an adult. Call your parent or go home right away. 3 things children can remember. Your child may feel embarrassed to stand up to their friends who are handling a gun without adult supervision. They may be concerned about being excluded from future activities and friendships. It's really important to acknowledge that fear, that self-consciousness, but your encouragement is important too. You can even practice with them so they know what to do in a variety of scenarios. You can help build up your child's confidence before it becomes necessary for them to act. And be sure to teach your children what to do if they hear a gun. Stay away from windows. Okay. Call 911 and wait for help to arrive. All right, so let's talk about the A in talk. The A in talk stands for ask. It's always a great time to prepare and practice asking the important questions that can ensure your child's safety when they go over to play at a friend's house. As a parent, you must make sure that your kids are in safe places outside your home. Do you speak with the parents at the home and ask if they own a gun and if the gun is stored safely? These may seem like difficult and uncomfortable questions to ask, but your child's safety is at stake. Don't you ask if a pool is gated, if pets are trained and safe, that peanuts are not present if your child has an allergy, that, a parent or a caregiver will be home to supervise? Asking about guns and safe gun storage is just another question you should ask when you entrust your child to someone else. And don't just judge someone by how they look or where they live. Gun ownership crosses all communities. If you were to ask people you would be surprised to learn how many of them actually do have a gun in their home. Today, I'll give you some easy ways you can discuss safe gun storage with your neighbors, family, and friends. Using these tips and with practice, you can easily share with the other person that if they do have a gun, you want to make sure it is stored safely to protect your child and theirs. And the definition of safety is different for all people, so make sure that when you are talking about safe gun storage, that you are talking about these aspects. The gun is unloaded. The gun is locked in a locked box, and the ammunition is locked in a completely separate box. Both boxes are hidden and stored where children can't find them. And only the adult has the keys to open the boxes, and the keys are with the adult at all times. All right, let's practice asking about guns and safe gun storage. It's important that you overcome your nervousness and realize that this is just one of the many questions you ask when your children go out to play or visit with friends, family, or neighbors. You should be able to have this conversation with anyone. One of the easiest ways to start a discussion about safe gun storage is to reveal what you do at home. Okay, so for example, Here's a conversation that you might have with the mother of your son's new friend. And by the way, this conversation can be easily modified to use with a longtime friend, okay, family members. All right, so hi, Maya. I'm so happy to meet you, and I'm so glad that Tommy and Nick, your son, want to be friends, and I anticipate many play dates at each other's houses, and I want to let you know what our home is like so you can make a decision if that works for you when considering about your son's safety. Okay, so we have a swimming pool at our apartment complex, but I want to assure you that it is gated and locked at all times, and that the gate is high enough that the boys will not be able to climb over it. And also, with advance notice to you and with your approval, if the boys do go swimming, I'll be there to watch them at all times, and I won't leave, not even for a moment. I won't use my cell phone, and I won't allow myself to be distracted. Okay, one example. All right, here's another. We have a dog. He's small and friendly, but if your son or you are concerned, we will put Baxter in a bedroom or on a leash while your son's visiting. And if your son wants to be introduced to Baxter, we'll do so only with adult supervision and while Baxter's on a leash and under our control. See, it gets easier here. We don't have guns in our home. We believe that our home wouldn't be safe for Tommy or his friends if we had a gun at home. Or we have guns in our home, but they are stored, unloaded, and locked up with ammunition stored separately. I keep the keys to the gun safe with me at all times. So, hey, can you share with me what I can expect when our Tommy visits at your home? You can easily change this conversation if you are having it with an existing friend. Mona, I know that Tommy and Sam have been friends for a long time, but I don't think we've ever had a conversation about safety. I want to let you know the safety practices at our home, or a conversation with family members. So, Mom, Dad, we've never talked about safety practices when Tommy visits you. I want to let you know the safety practices at our home to see how we can all be consistent. We know you love Tommy as much as we do and want him to be safe wherever he is. It's important that you practice what you're going to say beforehand and know what safety measures you take in your own home before talking and sharing with others. Practice until you are comfortable and casual in your presentation. Casual does not mean you don't care. It does mean that you aren't nervous about asking. And what do you say or ask if the new friends or existing friends' home does have guns? Hey, I'm glad your guns are stored safely. To me, that means that guns are stored apart from ammunition and that both are locked up in a safe or with a locking device that children do not have access to. Yeah, what does safe gun storage mean to you and your family? So remember, if you do not feel comfortable with the way guns are stored or not comfortable with having guns in the home where your child plays, speak up. Your child's safety is worth any discomfort you may feel. Let's take a moment for you to practice now in your own home. How did it go? Remember, these conversations may feel awkward at first, but your children are precious and your responsibility. If you are fearful about losing a friendship, think about what is more important, your child's safety or a friendship. When considered that way, the decision is an easy one. The L in talk is for lock. Unintentional shootings have spiked during COVID-19. Coinciding with the increase in gun purchases, deadly unintentional shootings by children increased 43% in March and April of 2020. Safe gun storage is critical. It's important that if you are a gun owner, you store your gun safely and away from your child and their friends. One public health study found that 1/3 of 8 to 12-year-old boys who came across an unlocked handgun picked it up and pulled the trigger. You don't want that to be your child or your child's friend. So let's review what safe gun storage is and isn't. You'll need this information when you talk with your family, friends, and neighbors before allowing your child to go over to play at someone's house that may have a gun. So safe gun storage is not hiding your gun in a closet or nightstand. It is not hiding your gun under your pillow, and it is not displaying your gun in a glass gun cabinet. Safe gun storage is placing your unloaded gun in a safe or lockbox, locking up your ammunition and storing it separately from your gun, keeping the keys to your lockbox on you at all times, using a trigger lock. People often think that if someone breaks into their home, they'll be unable to protect themselves without a loaded gun close by. But the facts are that a loaded gun in your home is more of a danger to you and your family than an intruder is. If you have a gun in your house, you are 22 times more likely to have it used in a homicide, suicide, or unintentional shooting than to have it used for self-protection. And remember that it takes just one small lapse in attention to unintentionally endanger your child and community. You know, a short time ago, a 5-year-old child found a recently purchased handgun that was left unattended when the owner left the room for a few moments to go to the bathroom. The child shot himself in the face and died at the hospital. K is let's keep our children safe. Now, I want to give you all some homework. I want you all to practice having safe gun storage conversations with your spouse or partner until you feel you are comfortable enough to have the conversation with a close friend. And then start working out from your close circle to others with whom you and your child interact. Practice, practice, practice is the key to feeling prepared and comfortable enough to talk to your neighbors, friends, and family about safe gun storage. Thank you for watching. I hope you will visit our website at thetalkproject.org for more information and to request our free materials.